A little sunshine peeking through, and that's making for beautiful sunrise. Now, skies are still clear over far eastern Utah, but otherwise clouds have become widespread across much of the state, and radar detecting a few showers in far western Utah. High base precipitation not actually reaching the ground, so nothing more than potentially a few sprinkles today. Now, the temperature in Salt Lake is 42. We've got some wind out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour. And while it is in the 20s in Logan as well as across parts of eastern Utah, that cloud cover combined with the breeze out of the south has kept it very mild over the western half of the state. In fact, it's about 10 degrees warmer right now along the Wasatch Front than it was yesterday at this time, 15 degrees warmer in Milford, and almost 25 degrees warmer in Cedar City. Can't complain about that on a December morning, especially if you're standing out at the bus stop, spending a lot of time outside. And it's all associated with that storm we just heard about that's hammering California, and some of that heavy rain is heading into Oregon as well. So the storm is sitting off the coast today, and out ahead of it, we have the clouds moving in. There's also a southwesterly flow that's going to be developing. So with winds coming in from that direction, our temperatures not only climb well above average for this time of year, but possibly even into record territory. Now, the storm will make its way onshore tomorrow, move across Utah. Our high temperature forecast to be 64. Our record is 62. So more than likely we'll not only tie the record, but also break it. And we'll have winds about that strong over much of western and central Utah, while in the east, it'll be a light breeze out of the south at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And even though you'll see some sunshine peeking through off and on this morning in the eastern part of the state, it looks like it'll become mostly cloudy all across Utah by this afternoon with very mild temperatures. And then later on tonight, partly cloudy at times, but we'll still get that wind out of the south. That'll keep it very mild tomorrow morning. A lot of places will be hovering above freezing, at least over the western two-thirds of the state. Down to 46 in Salt Lake, 42 in St. George. Now, tomorrow afternoon, the Valley Rain Mountain snow will begin in the south, last through Saturday, be high elevation snow, and then by Sunday, the storm moves out. Will be drying out with temperature in the mid-50s. And for northern Utah, Valley Rain Mountain snow began Friday night, and then on Saturday we could get a rain-snow mix all the way down to the valley floor, but very little, if anything, in the way of accumulation in the valleys. And by Sunday, it'll become partly cloudy. Our temperature by then will be in the low 40s. Huge. It's pounding the west coast today, but by the time it arrives in Utah heading into the weekend, it will have weakened quite a bit, even though it's already beginning to have an impact on us in terms of the temperature. And we'll show you that in a second, but first have a couple beautiful photos to show you. This one was taken Sunday morning, December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, up at Deer Creek Reservoir. Some fog on the water there. Absolutely beautiful morning. It was a fantastic afternoon up at Alta. Haven't had any new snow in a while, but you had the sun shining on the slopes, and this just made for a beautiful picture, as you can see. And then I just stepped outside the Fox 13 studios, took this photo. We've got some mid and high level clouds coming in, and that's allowed for some brilliant colors this morning as the sun peaks above the horizon. So not only looks good when you head out the door, but feels very comfortable. In fact, it's 42 right now in Salt Lake City. That's above our average high temperature for this time of year. It's in the mid-40s in Cedar City, almost 25 degrees warmer than yesterday at this time. While in Logan, as well as across much of eastern Utah, it's cold. You're starting out in the 20s, but everybody will warm up nicely today. High pressure that's been in place over the last couple days, moving off to the east. Now there's that storm off the coast of California, bringing some very heavy rain from about San Francisco Bay Area up into the Pacific Northwest. Now, that storm arrives this weekend and weekends, but out ahead of it, we've got the clouds coming in. We're also going to get some wind out of the south at about 15 to 25 miles per hour across much of northern, western, and central Utah. And that's going to allow the temperature to climb all the way to 64 in Salt Lake City. If we hit that, we'll be into record territory. Just shy of that at Provo and Ogden, near 60, mid to upper 50s at Logan and Park City, 50 expected in Evanston. Could have a little sunshine peeking through at times, but it looks like it will be mostly cloudy today across most of the state. So this morning, you've got patchy clearing in eastern Utah, which is why temperatures went into a free fall. You didn't have the clouds to trap in the heat, but it will become mostly cloudy by later in the day in the east. And in that part of the state, the wind will be fairly light. It'll be out of the south at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Temperature in St. George will be mid-60s. Later on tonight, it'll become partly cloudy at times, so we'll still have that wind out of the south over much of the western two-thirds of the state, or at least that's where the winds will be the strongest, and that'll keep it very warm tomorrow morning. We'll only drop down to 46 in Salt Lake, 42 in St. George. But as Carrie mentioned, that is the warm before the storm. We'll let you know when the rain and snow make their way into the picture when we look at the 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.